How's it going, everyone? Liam here from Village Food Tours. As always, thank you for tuning in. Today I'm here in downtown Melbourne and we are checking out Mangetsu. Now, this is my first time checking out Mangetsu. I've been meaning to try them out for a long time. Now, the owner, she actually used to work with me at Tai Tai in Cocoa Village, and we worked together for a good 5 years or so. So they specialize in Korean barbecue as well as sushi and Thai food. The interior is really cool and gives you the feel that, you know, you're headed over to the Far East. So they made a whole assortment of yummy food that I'm going to delve into and review for you guys. And I'll try to pronounce them as best as possible, but we had the Bulgogi, which is a Korean Kimchee Pancake, as well as some Bulgogi, which is kind of like the Korean barbecue that you throw this stuff in, as well as the DOLSOT BIBIMBAP in a hot stone bowl. This was really yummy. And then we also had the JaJa Main, which is a noodle in a black bean sauce. And then I had one of my kids with me, and he had the lo mein, which, I mean, you gotta have somebody going basic. But what was cool was the bibimbap, and hear the sizzle in it. Just hear it. It sounds really awesome. No. As well as the smell. The smell of all the food was just overwhelming, and it just all came in on a wave at me. Just yummy,
or you can throw it in with your DOLSOT or your bulgogi. Now your DOLSOT, you're not going to want to sit there too long. I'll bring you a spoon because there's rice on the bottom. You let it sit for too long, it's going to get really crispy. Okay. But I'll go grab you a spoon.
Now, the very first thing I started off with was the Kimchi Pancakes. It's also known as Buchimgae. I don't know if I said that right. And it's I looked up some recipes for it, and they mix it with like mung bean and dough. I don't know if this is necessarily how they did it. And just mix a nice little pancake. Now, there's a seafood one as well. I just went with the kimchi one because I was eating a lot of food. I didn't want to delve into too much stuff. So, I was a fan of it. I enjoyed it, but I think overall, and I've eaten a lot of Asian food, I think I'm not a huge fan of kimchi. I love pickled stuff, especially pickled Asian stuff. It's just something about kimchi I'm not a huge fan of, and it's not 100% my flavor. Now, they cut it up, and then it also comes with some, I believe it was ponzu sauce, which is like a citrusy dumpling dipping sauce. Now, the pancakes are made with egg, and it has more of an omelet texture than it does really like a pancake doughy floury texture. What I also like about it too is all the vegetables and the contents give it a nice little crunch. Next up, we have the bulgogi, which is a marinated beef, and you get to kind of do it the same style as Korean barbecue. They marinate this beef for over a day, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but the flavor really is in there, so I definitely know it has to take some time to get all that good flavor in there. Once the meat's cooked up, they take out the hot plate and the skillet. They top it off with some onions, and since this plate's been sizzling, this iron skillet's been sizzling, the onions go on it, and they start sizzling themselves as well, and then it gets topped off with all the bulgogi beef. Just yum. Now, I could be saying this wrong, but not all bulgogi is Korean barbecue, but not all Korean barbecue is bulgogi seasoning. So the different Korean barbecue, they have some different seasonings that go on, but it's the same style that you eat this with. This just comes out pre-prepared. So what you do is you make a little lettuce wrap, you get your lettuce out, and then you stuff it with the meat, and then the different toppings, all that awesome stuff like the beans. My favorite was the purple, the daikon, the pickled daikon, just had an awesome flavor to it. And then you wrap it up and take a bite, and it gives a nice little crunch. You can put the kimchi on it. Of course, I had to try the kimchi too. And this is how you eat your bulgogi.
Oh, yeah. Do you have jasmine? Reindeer barley.
And next up, we have the DOLSOT BIBIMBAP. Such a fun word to say. I think I got it right. BIBIMBAP. It's B-I-B-I-M-B-A-P. BIBIMBAP. So I think I pronounced it right. In a hot stone bowl. So what this is, it's a traditional dish. And how the owner explained it to me is, back in the day, everybody kind of sits around and they just toss everything in there and it cooks it. Whereas this is an individual bowl that you have. So they kind of assemble it and put everything for you in there. And then what you do is just stir it around. So they've got the hot stone set up, the hot stone bowl set up, and they put the rice in there and then start adding up all the other ingredients. Like there's some shiitake mushrooms, I believe, some bean sprouts, some ginger, just a whole assortment. I might be wrong about the ginger, but a whole assortment of flavorful yumminess. And then what you do is once you get it to your table, you got to try to get it really fast because the stone bowl is so hot that it cooks the rice to a nice crisp, which also adds a really awesome texture, and then they top it with more of the bulgogi beef. So this is just an absolutely awesome dish. I've seen it at a lot of other places, and I haven't seen it though with the stone bowl. This was my first time trying it, but a lot of times they have it, and then they top it with some like sesame oil and sesame seeds.
Traditionally, we just crack the egg, like raw egg, because the bowl is so hot and it cooks the. So a lot of people that comes in, they eat things like separately, but you're supposed to use a long spoon. These long spoons are pencil for this, so that you don't touch the bowl. And then you break the egg, mix everything, mix the rice is.
And the really fun thing about this is when they bring it out to the table, you just hear that sizzle from the hot stone bowl and all that stuff just cooking in it, and you got to get to it fast. And I just love runny eggs. So of course you gotta bust that egg open and just let it mix all up in there. And last but not least, we have the JaJa Main, which is a noodle, a Korean noodle with Chinese style. That's with a black bean sauce. So it kind of looks like almost like a squid ink, really dark, and it's just got a really nice, unique flavor to it. It tastes closer to like a lo mein in the flavor of it. Don't let the color throw you off, but it's a really nice dish. Traditionally, it comes with like some minced pork in there as well. So everything is just really, really, really yummy. Alright, to sum it up, we hit up Mangetsu Sushi Bar and Korean Barbecue in downtown Melbourne, Florida. We had the Bulgogi, or the Korean Kimchee Pancakes. We also had the DOLSOT BIBIMBAP Hot Stone Bowl, a JaJa Main, and some Bulgogi. Everything was absolutely out of this world. And if you catch yourself in downtown Melbourne, remember you can always hit us up for a food tour. And if you don't have time for a food tour, be sure to check out Mangetsu. I'll leave all the details down below in the comments. As always, guys, thank you for watching. If you like this content, make sure to hit a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. We'll catch you next time.